A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have decided after 5 years of thinking. I've been retired for over 5 years, almost 6 years. I decided I'd rather retire here where I'm at than in the Philippines, and here's why. The Philippines, I stayed or I lived 30 years, more than 30 years in the Philippines, and I found so many heartaches and hardships in the Philippines. The red tape alone, both in private and the government sector, is just horrendous. Okay, just to get your license is going to take you the whole day. Just to take your, say, for example, driving test will take you the whole month, I guess. To get your own paperwork for taxes, for realty taxes, it will take you forever, unless you're going to go underground under the table and pay somebody inside this office for at least 1,000 pesos or 2,000 pesos to to make the paperwork uh, done faster. And then when you go out, say for example, let's see, I'm in my house in the Philippines. I have to go out. Okay, first thing that would happen is that, okay, when I got, where's the milk? There's not much fresh milk you can buy in there. It's hard to find fresh milk. Okay, so you need your breakfast. So all you will get is, you know, the typical uh, egg fried rice or sausage fried rice, corned beef fried rice, all those non-healthy stuff. I like mine like uh, single toast, cereal, or with fruit. That's it. Count that. Count that. Okay, you're done. You actually are done with your breakfast. You go out. Oh boy, it's raining. What shall we do? Then you have, well, I don't have my car, so I have to do public transportation. So you walk about, say, for example, uh, half a kilometer away, and halfway through that walk to the jeepney stop, you'll find, and guess what? It's raining. A puddle. That's okay. But you get wet because the puddle is occupying the whole stretch of road and the whole, uh, even going to the embankment. So you haven't even started your day yet, and your shoes are wet. You went to the bus stop or the jeepney stop. You get there. Oh boy, it takes you about forever to get the jeepney. And when you get to jeepney, you notice that the fare going to, say for example, you're just going to a government office, a city hall. It increased from 25, say 15 pesos, 11 pesos to 15 pesos. So just like that. Then you go to the office, and then when you get there, you're told to wait because the office is not office open yet, but it's already 9 o'clock in the morning. And then when they open up, the line is so big, and there you are. You go to the line, and then you're about 10 person to the front of the line. And when it gets to you, this person, government employee, decide to take a break, and you're held there thinking, What the hell? There's nobody else going to help me, so I have to wait. After about 15 minutes, the employee gets back to you and then asks for your ID and an application form. And oh, sir, you have to come back. You don't have the birth certificate and has to be filled out completely, sir. Ma'am, I have the ID and the application only asked for an ID, and now you're asking for the birth certificate. Yes, sir. There goes blows. So you're frustrated. You're saying, okay, I'll come back tomorrow. So you wasted travel to that office. So the next thing is that you're now ready for a grocer. So you go to the nearest wet market, and well, you find out why, how come there's no beef in here? Because, sir, there's no beef because they have been unable to uh, to get a beef for today, and this is only pork. How much is that, sir? It's 450 a kilo. 450 a kilo. Come on, how can you eat that? But you need that, so can you give me half of that? Okay, I paid about 250 for half a kilo. And you go to the vegetable section. Vegetable section shows you all kinds of fresh vegetables, but they are expensive. I'm telling you, the whole chicken is very expensive, and the fish, you would think that it's inexpensive, but no, no. Half a kilo for the famous GG was 120. That's half a kilo, and you compare that to the things I buy here where I'm at for uh, about the same price. I'll get a little bit more. Now you go home, same thing. Traffic. It takes you about uh, an hour to get to your home, which is only about 9 kilometers away. It's a waste of time. When you get home, you get your bill for the electricity. It's 4,000 pesos. For what? Electricity that comes in and out, and for only use typing when I'm about to sleep and turn it off during the day and just use the electric fan. So here we go. If I get sick, I have to go to the hospital, and then that is expensive. I don't have an insurance, and even if I do, I'll get the run around, and it's not safe in there. I'm telling you. How many times I almost got hold up? I was just lucky, I guess. This guy, I knew he had bad intentions, and I knew he pulled from his shoes a knife, and he was just about to ride the jeepney. I was just about to ride too, and I said, "No, he's about to do a hold up gig on this jeepney." So I said, "No, I'm not going that where he is going to." That saved me the day. I could have had my brother once was uh, asked by my mom to buy her medication, and while my brother was walking along the road to go to the pharmacy, a guy put his hand on my brother's shoulder and put a knife on the side. and said, "This is a holdup. Give me all the money." My brother, startled, didn't fight, so he just gave the money, and that was his money for my mom's medication. This was a long time ago. There are so many hard, hard stories to tell, sad stories to tell. Even a story that I had that my grandfather already. My grandfather is a lawyer, so my grandfather told me to follow up on the decision by. Well, I received the uh, court decision, and the marshal came by the house and was asking me money in order to implement, the the order of the court, and I was saying, why would I be paying for this? Because the court already has made a decision to to implement this rule, and I realized that hey, they want some grease money in order for the it, you don't need to pay for you don't need to pay for the uh, I mean the court has already made a decision. It's already in paper. All it needs was to hand over the piece of paper to the offender and tell them that hey, you have to vacate because this is the court's decision that you have to go. No, the marshal asked me money in order to implement what the judgment been has been done. So many things that happen in there, and there's one curious thing. A long time ago, when I took my license, driving license, a simple driving license. So this time I was renewing it, and boy, the line was so huge. And I said, I'm not going to be spending the whole day in there. Right outside the office, there's a guy who said, "Do you want to your license renewed?" I said, "Yes." Yeah, well, this is the payment that if you want to rush this thing, uh, it's only 300 outs, 300 to pay, but you have to pay me 1,200 extra to speed it up. You'll be getting this in about 2 hours. Otherwise, you'll spend the whole day and maybe come back tomorrow for your license if you go through that big line over there, pointing to where the line was. And I said, I'd rather pay you than get into that line that's so huge. So I paid extra money, like 1,200 on top of the uh, license fee, and I filled up a form, and then off he off he went. When he went, it was not over. He promised me about 2 hours, but it was not over 45 minutes, I guess. But it came back and I said, "Here's your license," and said, "That's it." I went away, but that's how it works in there. Your safety is not well. There's no safe place on earth. If things happen, they will happen. But in the Philippines, it will happen in flick of a finger. You will not even notice it. That might be a hold up. It might be like you run into somebody and have a fight and then shoot you. And as I said, the prices of everything in there is high. Much, 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 much higher from where I am living right now. Well, it's your personal decision to to retire in the Philippines, but I would never recommend retiring in the Philippines even to my enemies. It's a hard, hard sell to make. Safety it's not good in there. Not good. In here where I am, where I live, I would I would go out safe. There's no traffic outside. I go to a government office, and 1 or 2 minutes after application, I would get the results. I would get what I need. A building permit. It only took me about 2 minutes. Just fill out the form, fill out this, that. In 2 minutes, I got, well, not really 2 minutes, maybe about 5 minutes because I had to go pay for the building permit. But still, that's how it is here. Do that in the Philippines. I remember my father doing a building permit. It took him a month to get that building permit. It's ridiculous. Buying a car in the Philippines is you you're always running the cars that are being sold in the Philippines are, first of all, most of them are not, you know, A grade, meaning they're normally these cars would not sell in California or in or even in Singapore because they don't have uh, strict standards on emissions and all that. So you see a car being sold in the Philippines are either rejects from Japanese companies or Korean companies, or just plain knockdowns from these companies, and yet they're being sold at the same price or sometimes higher price than that being sold somewhere else around the world. So it's expensive in the Philippines. Don't get me wrong. Don't fall into the trap that hey, food is cheap. Forget about it. It's not the way it is like. Well, anyway, I have decided based on the things that I have mentioned to stay where I'm at and retire. Although 5 years ago, I also tried living in there after retirement in the Philippines, and my retirement income is, I'm not gonna say my retirement income is overabundant, but I would say it's sufficient for me to live in the Philippines comfortably. It's also now I find that living here where I'm at as a retiree is very comfortable. I was not that comfortable when I was retiring in the Philippines. The first few months, I guess, I was in there. I had a car in there. I had my house paid for in there. I still have the house paid for in the Philippines, and I basically don't have much expenditures in the Philippines except for house help, which is okay. I mean, I would sometimes need a driver to drive me around, or somebody to buy me groceries. But I do most of the cooking. I do cook my own food. I don't rely on somebody else cooking food for me or for the family. Well, anyway, most of the things that I I thought would be comfortable for me in the Philippines, and and health wise, it would be good for me. It was not. It was like an illusion. Medicare, and there is a big sick joke. Feel health for retirees like me. So it's a big sick joke. The only people that thrive in the Philippines are those people who are, should I say, rich from the very beginning, because they are entombed in their own environment. They don't go out, or if they go out, they have their drivers and they go out at their own leisure. There's no traffic, there's no flood. And if they have to do something like renew my driver's license, they don't go out themselves. They ask somebody else to do for them. And they don't care about the prices because, yeah, can afford it. They cannot always afford it. So to them it's okay, but are they happy where they're at? I don't think so. As I said, they're entombed in their own environment. They cannot be free. Like in my case, I go out if and if and when I like to. I like to do entertain myself and do this and do that. I cannot do that in the Philippines. For some reason, it would be like a big task to do. Well, I'm happy where I'm at. I will remain here until I probably die, but my retirement is very good. I have no questions about it. Okay, thank you so much.